These three pillars are enough if you want to make any website possible in this world. There would also be a doubt session after ending of each session where we would answer all your queries depending upon how we filter your queries and questions. And there would be also a dedicated Discord server for you, and here that will be open and maintained throughout the 7 days, where the mentors and even your colleagues will help you to solve any of your queries to solve, so that there is a proper learning environment for you throughout these 7 days. And there would be session on 3 days for each individual component of front-end web development, that is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Finally, we would expect you to stick with us even if you have a hard time understanding the things, because पहली बार लोगों को क्या होता है कि लोगों को समझ नहीं आता कि क्या हो रहा है, लेकिन हम चाहेंगे कि आप हमारे साथ स्टिक करें। और अगर आप पेशेंस और डेडिकेशन से हमारे साथ टेक गए तो एंड में आप बहुत एक फेदर इन कैप के लेके बाहर जाएंगे, और उसके बाद आपकी जो लर्निंग है वो बहुत ग्रो हुई होगी, और आप सिंपल स्टैटिक वेबसाइट्स तो बड़ी आसानी से डेली बेसिस पे बना रहे होंगे। सो next thing, now we would get you to the contents of the first day, what we would be teaching you on the first day itself. So first of all, we'll taking you through the insight about front end web development, back end web development, and full stack web development. You might have heard such terms in computer science, but some of you might not know what are these, so we would be explaining you about them in detail. Then we will take you through the history of HTML, how HTML5, CSS, and JavaScript came into being. Today, it has evolved so much that internet is one of the most important boons for the human society. It is one of the most important thing. It has progressed the humans at a very fast rate. So we would be taking you through a very interesting history of such an HTML. Then we were taking you to the building blocks of an HTML document, how a HTML document is written. For example, the tags. The tags are the building blocks of an HTML document. The way we write HTML is by through tags. And then we'll explain you about its semantics. Don't get flabbergasted by the term, because we would be explaining you about all this a little later whenever we'll go through these topics. And if and in the end, you will be going to do a hands-on project, which would be a simple portfolio like that of a Thomas Corman, and you can post it as your CV or as your resume anywhere you can. And that would be a full-fledged website that you would have prepared on your own with the help of some mentors. So next thing is, guys, what is front end and what is back end web development? You might have heard the terms front end developer, back end developer, full stack developer. But what are these actually? Basically, front end development means, its name suggests front end development. What is visible to the front? That is the client side development. The clients are you, the users are the clients. So the development for the client is front end web development, how the things look to the user. For example, everything you see on a website, the content, the images, the structure, everything you see, how the website feels to you, is done by the front end web development. It is done through HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I would explain all of these three in a little detail later, but first of all, I'll tell you that these are the main components of front end web development, and these three are enough. If you know all these three, then you can be classified as a front end developer, even if a bad front end developer, but you will be counted as a front end developer. Then we'll come to the back end developer. What is a back end developer? For example, if you take a Google page, whatever is visible to you, जो भी तुम्हें सामने दिखाई देता है, गूगल का सर्च पेज, जो भी तुम इनपुट करते हो, गूगल का लोगो, वो सब फ्रंट एंड डेवलपमेंट में आ रहा होता है। लेकिन जब तुम कुछ सर्च करते हो, वेन एवर यू सर्च एनी क्वेरी, तो आपका जो सर्च रिक्वेस्ट है वो गूगल के सर्वर्स में जाती है, और गूगल के सर्वर्स उस सर्च क्वेरी को प्रोसेस करके आपके पास रेलेवेंट रिजल्ट्स भेजते हैं। The relevant results which they send to you is processed by some coding languages, and it is processed through data as well. तो उसे हम बैक एंड डेवलपमेंट कहते हैं, जो पीछे कोड किया जाता है, जो कंपनी के पीछे चल रहा है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप किसी रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हो, तो रेस्टोरेंट में वेन एवर यू गो टू एनी रेस्टोरेंट, यू ऑर्डर सम फूड, the food comes to you prepared, you eat it, you are mesmerized by the presentation. But what will happen if the cooks or the chefs come in front of you and start to prepare everything in front of you? That would be very messy. for the chefs as well as for you. So what the companies do, the server is like a kitchen where they prepare the food, and front end, this browser is where your browser renders the website, the food that you eat. If you take example of a kitchen, this is basically a front end and back end development. Now what is a full stack developer? A full stack developer is the jack of all trades, who can do both front end development and back end development. Back end development contains basically many languages like Ruby, C++, PHP, Python, Java, .NET, Node.js, Objective-C. जो भी लैंग्वेज हम डेली लाइफ में यूज करते हैं, विच वी यूज इन सिंपल प्रोग्रामिंग, these are used in backend. They have some frameworks associated. कई लोगों ने Django का नाम सुना होगा, कई लोगों ने Node.js Express का नाम सुना होगा. ये सब backend में यूज होती है. इनमें से एक ही काफी होती है. Only one is enough to learn any backend language. So we won't be going through much detail in backend development because we won't be getting much time in these 3 days session. So we would be concentrating on just front end development, but some statics websites are being made on front end development as well. So we would be telling you how to make it. Now, first of all, the introduction to front end web development. What is the front end web development? I have already told you. Now comes the three major portions of front end web development. सबसे पहला पोर्शन होता है HTML. जो भी कंटेंट पार्ट आपकी वेबसाइट में है, फॉर एग्जांपल द इमेजेस, द टेक्स्ट, जो भी आपका कंटेंट जो आप एक्सट्रैक्ट करना चाहते हो, जो भी आप इंफॉर्मेशन किसी वेबसाइट से एक्सट्रैक्ट करना चाहते हो, दैट इज काउंटेड इन HTML एंड दैट इज रेंडर्ड बाय HTML. HTML ही बेसिक बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक था फर्स्ट वेबसाइट्स का. उसके बाद CSS और JS आए जो स्टाइल करने लग पड़े और इंटरेक्टिविटी ऐड करने लग पड़े, बट बेसिकली HTML ही मेन पार्ट था. CSS जो होती है वो स्टाइलिंग होती है, वेबसाइट के हर पोर्शन कैसे अरेंज्ड है, वेबसाइट, हाउ डज द वेबसाइट लुक टू यू, क्या उसका बैकग्राउंड कलर है, क्या उसकी इमेज है, क्या उसके फॉन्ट कलर्स है, क्या उसके सेक्शंस अरेंज्ड है, ये सब कुछ CSS में आता है. और जावास्क्रिप्ट एड्स इंटरेक्टिविटी टू अ वेबसाइट. जावास्क्रिप्ट से मतलब है जब भी आप कोई पॉपअप देखते हो, कोई अलर्ट देखते हो, कोई हवरिंग करने पे कोई बहुत सा फंकी सा इफेक्ट आता है वेबसाइट के ऊपर, वो सब जावास्क्रिप्ट कर रही होती है. स्टाइल कर रही होती है CSS, कंटेंट रेंडर हो रहा होता है HTML से, और जावास्क्रिप्ट आपके सामने जो भी खतरनाक चीजें जो भी वेबसाइट कर रही होती है वो सारी जावास्क्रिप्ट के थ्रू ही नॉर्मली उन्होंने इम्प्लीमेंट की होती है. अब अगर हम इफ वी गो थ्रू अ सिंपल ह्यूमन बॉडी, then also we can explain the different performances or different things in an HTML page. For example, जो अगर हम ह्यूमन बॉडी लेंगे तो स्केलेटन जो है हमारा और हमारी जो शेप, दैट विल कम इन द HTML. मीन्स के जो स्ट्रक्चर है वो हमारा HTML में आ रहा है. स्ट्रक्चरल पार्ट जो हमारा बॉडी का है वो वो हमारा HTML में आ रहा है. और जो हमारी बॉडी है, आप देखें स्केलेटन, स्केलेटन लुक्स टू हॉरिबल. कोई भी इंसान स्केलेटन नहीं देखना चाहता. हॉरर मूवीज में भी स्केलेटन ही दिखाए जाते हैं जो कि बहुत खतरनाक लगते हैं दिखने में और बिल्कुल भी अच्छे नहीं लगते आई को. तो HTML अगर सिंपल है तो वो बिल्कुल आई को अच्छा नहीं लगता, लेकिन जब उसके अंदर हम स्किन डाल देते हैं, उसके अंदर क्लोज डाल देते हैं तो वो अच्छा लगने लग पड़ता है. दैट इज व्हाट वी डू, स्टाइलिंग. उसको स्टाइल करते हैं ताकि वो दिखने में अच्छा लगे. यूजर इंटरफेस भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, इसलिए हम उसको स्टाइल करते हैं. Then comes the JS part. JS is whatever we speak, whatever we talk, whenever we move, whatever the things we do as a human are characterized by JS, or behavior is characterized by JS. If we put a website into a human body, then this would be the simple structure of a website. That is, HTML is the structure, skeleton, the body, the skin is made by the CSS, and the behavior and the performance muscles are made by the JavaScript. So now let's jump to the history of HTML. What is HTML? HTML is a hypertext markup language. People confuse it as a programming language, but it is not. It is a markup language. Markup means whatever you write in a text, how it is rendered on the screen. Coding means instructions given to a computer, but markup means how a simple text is rendered on a screen. People say HTML is a programming language. That is a big myth. It is never a programming language. It is always a markup language, which will render your text in the way you like on the browser. Now, HTML 1.0 was released by Sir Tim Berners-Lee in 1993 for sharing of information. But there weren't many developers at that time, and so the language wasn't growing either. And there was no backing of such big organization which could help it grow. But in HTML 2.0, Michael Cloy got associated with Tim Berners-Lee, and CERN backed HTML so that the researchers and the scientists could share their research papers with each other, share their content, share their data to HTML 2.0. The big thing is that there was no styling. They were simple HTML pages, simple content style pages. There were no styling at all, and scientists preferred that because they concentrated and usually focused on content really very much. Then in 1996, I suppose, HTML 3.0 were released, and it was the first time some designed websites were released, and it caused a lot of debate because first of all the websites got slower due to addition of styling. Then the scientists argue that when world wide web was made, it was focused more on the content. Why are the styles being added into them? Because our main focus is just the content. We want the research papers to be of high quality, not the styling to be of high quality. But there was another quota of people who said that user interface is as much as important as content. Because if a user spends time on the internet, he might spend a time on a good looking website with average content, but not spend that much time with a horrible looking website and a very good content. So user interface got its importance in HTML 3.0. Now HTML 4.01. This was the most successful and most used HTML version throughout, which was released in 1998. And it was backed by W3C, which is the World Wide Web Consortium. And the most significant feature of HTML 4.01 was that it separated the style from the content. इन्होंने क्या किया कि पहले HTML में जो स्टाइलिंग 3.0 में डाली गई थी वो HTML में ही फिट करके कहीं से उनको चेंजेस किए, लेकिन HTML 4.01 में उन्होंने CSS और HTML को बिल्कुल अलग कर दिया कि HTML कंटेंट पार्ट अलग रहेगा और बाद में मर्ज करके उनको एक फुल फ्लैश्ड वेबसाइट बनाएंगे। इसलिए 4.01 बहुत सक्सेसफुल वर्जन था और and in 2012 HTML 5.0 was released, which was an extended version of HTML 4.01 with little differences, but many significant features were also added to it, and it is counted as one of the pioneers of HTML. There are basically other forms of HTML as well, like XHTML, but this is the most widely used. And almost all the websites today, almost all you see are based upon HTML. I don't think so there is any other markup language or any other coding language that is as good as HTML for this. So now we'll start with the HTML tags and how an HTML document is written. Now the basic technical things would start. This was just an intro to HTML and intro to web development. So Megha would carry on with the HTML tags. See you guys.
Hello, Akshat. Really sorry to disturb. Megha, before you start, let us do one thing. Some people were like texting me that they cannot see the text properly or clearly. And when we'll be starting the coding part, even then it would be quite difficult, to start, to read all the text. Let's tell them how they can, full screen their entire presentation. Akshat, if possible, could you please
Yes.
present the screen?
Yes, sir. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah. So I think someone else also has to share the screen, right? In order to. Is the right click working on there?
Yes, sir. Here it is working.
Show controls option is being shown. Just try.
No,
Okay,
sir.
because no video is working, right? Just
No,
a
sir.
second. Okay. Guys, आप जब जो वीडियोस आपके सामने स्क्रीन शेयर हो रही है ना, उस पे आप अगर राइट क्लिक करोगे तो यू विल हैव अ लाइक शो कंट्रोल्स ऑप्शन। उस शो कंट्रोल्स ऑप्शन पे आप क्लिक करोगे तो आपकी पूरी स्क्रीन जो भी स्क्रीन प्रेजेंट हो रही है, इट वुड लाइक बिकम लाइक अ यूट्यूब वीडियो। और आप बॉटम राइट कॉर्नर से उसको काइंड ऑफ मैक्सिमाइज कर सकते हो, उसको जूम कर सकते हो, अपनी पूरी स्क्रीन पे फुल स्क्रीन कर सकते हो, तो विजिबिलिटी बेटर हो जाएगी। आप ट्राई करके देखो, और कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है तो चैट बॉक्स में आप कमेंट करना। जस्ट राइट क्लिक ऑन द स्क्रीन दैट इज बीइंग प्रेजेंटेड, एंड देन देयर वुड बी एन ऑप्शन, इट वुड बी कॉल्ड शो कंट्रोल्स, उससे आपको क्लिक करना है। देन द प्रेजेंटेड स्क्रीन वुड बिकम काइंड ऑफ ए यूट्यूब वीडियो, और आप उसको फुल स्क्रीन कर सकते हो फ्रॉम बॉटम राइट कॉर्नर। करके देखो। इफ एनीवन इज फेसिंग एनी प्रॉब्लम, प्लीज आप चैट बॉक्स में कर देना। आई एम रियली सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट अक्षर।
No, sir. No. Megha has to continue.
Okay, Megha, you can please continue. Thank you.
Hi guys, this is Megha Gupta from PSC and ITJ. I'm from second year. So Akshat have told you about the basics of HTML and the difference between HTML and CSS. So let's continue with writing HTML code. Let's share my screen. Just wait a minute. Okay guys, so before writing an HTML code, we shall look at a website like NITJ. Okay guys, so when I open this website, you can see that there is a title bar, there is menu bar, there are some images, text, or many things that we can add to a website. So guys, before writing any HTML code, you should know that for adding anything to our HTML document, firstly we have to declare it, that if I want to add images, I want to declare yes, this is an image, so that my code will know that I am adding an image. If I want to add a text, I will specify or declare it that yes, I am writing a text. So guys, let me look at the basic HTML document. How can we start? So guys, these are the brackets. You can see, and inside the bracket there is a tag. This is called tag. Doc type HTML. This is the first tag which we give to our HTML document. It means that we are specifying or we are declaring that we are writing an HTML document. It means document type, that is HTML. Okay, guys, so this is a bracket. Inside the bracket, we write the tag name. After it, we write the HTML document and we start writing. Firstly, you can see that there is an HTML document. Ignore this one. If I look at this, just once a minute. Guys, here you can see that this is an HTML document. I have declared an HTML tag. This means that I'm writing an HTML document. Okay. So firstly, I will write the HTML tag and I will also close it. Here you can see I have closed this HTML tag by using a slash, and I have opened it here. See, there are many kind of tags. You don't need to close each and every tag. Most of the tags are open and also closed. But there are some tags like this which don't need to be open and closed. Okay, guys. And anything like the whole document, the whole code we will write in our HTML will come inside these opening and closing tags of HTML. Like anything we will write, we will add anything to our web page will come inside this HTML tags. Okay, so let's move on. In this HTML tag, we are adding a head tag and a body tag. This is the basic structure of our HTML document. Now it comes in mind that what we include in this head tag. What is this head tag? Let's go again to my website and then I go back. When I search for NITJ, it shows me the site and it shows me the description, the small description about my website. This can come in this head tag. And when I go to this website, this is the title bar. And this is the title to my website, which is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar National Institute of Technology, Jalandhar. This is the title of my website. So guys, in our head tag, we can give title to our website. We can give description to our website. All the things which are added in this head tag does an output. Like जो भी मैं हेड टैग में इंक्लूड कर रही हूँ वो सब मुझे यहाँ पे नहीं शो होगा. यहाँ पे वेब पेज पे जितना भी मैटर शो हो रहा है, लाइक आई एम एडिंग इमेजेस, आई एम एडिंग टेक्स्ट और आई एम एडिंग एनीथिंग टू माय वेब पेज, इट विल कम अंडर द बॉडी टैग. But the anything which is come inside this head tag will not shown on website, but it will be used as an external source. It is describing my website, or it can be used to, like, browser is taking information about my website. Okay, what is my title, what is the description of my website, or anything. Okay, so and inside the body tag, it comes all the things which I want to add to my website, which I want to insert to my website. Okay, uh, and when I okay, guys, so here you can see this is an HTML tag, and I've also specified this lang, lang equal and the double quote en. What is this strange thing? है ना? Guys, this is the attribute to my tags. Like we can say that an IT Jalandhar is a tag and the engineering is its property. Okay, so attributes are the properties of the tags. Okay, uh, en means English. That it means that I am specifying that my whole web page will be in English language. Okay, guys. So HTML tag. Here you can see that anything we add along with our tag name, it is this attribute. This is the attribute, and we're defining the attribute as en. En means English. Okay, guys, don't worry about that. You don't have to learn these tag names, attribute names. When you will be making websites, when you will be making projects, you will learn it automatically. Okay, there are many kind of tags. If you want to declare, I have told you earlier now, I will tell you later on. Okay, guys, this is head tag, but actually I include my head tag. There are two tags, meta tags and title tags. Inside the meta tag, I can give my description to my website, which I told you that this is the description. I can declare it inside the meta tag. Here you can see, to the meta tag, I have given an attribute car set, and in another meta tag, I have given an attribute name, content, and initial. You don't have to worry about what is this doing, but just look at this. This meta tag has some attributes. Car set means UTF-8. Actually, we are writing an HTML document, but the machine language can read it in only bit form. So it is converting our HTML document into bits, and then it can you can think about it like you are converting your document in a machine language. Okay, you don't have to worry a lot about this. It is the basic thing. Okay, ये अपने आप ही मतलब जनरेट होता है, आपको इसके बारे में ज्यादा सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, and what is about name, viewport, content, it's about like name. आप मेटा के साथ ये जो name attribute दे रहे हो, and उसमें आप viewport डाल रहे हो, and content में आप डाल रहे हो width, device width. It means जो आपका वेब पेज है वो किसी भी डिवाइस पे शो हो रहा है, तो उसकी width क्या होगी, उसका साइज क्या होगा, वो इस कंटेंट में आप स्पेसिफाई कर सकते हो. ठीक है, और जो टाइटल टैग है, टाइटल टैग के अंदर सी आई हैव ओपन दिस टैग एंड क्लोज्ड इट, and inside this I have written a text which is document. It is the title to my web page. I have told you that this is the title of a web page. So any title if I want to give to my web page, I will add inside this title tag. Okay, guys, let's this was all about head tag. Now I want to show anything on my website, I want to add anything to my website, it is all come under body tags. So there are different tags for different things. Like if I want to add images, there is a different tag. If I want to add text, there is a different tag. If I want to add tables, forms, links, there are many kind of tags. So let's talk about text. If I want to write a text, what are the different tags I can use? For example, if I want to insert a paragraph on my web page, I will use p tag. If I want to add a horizontal rule, guys, just don't worry about the functioning of these tags. I will tell you later on, but I'm just specifying, I'm just telling you what different tags can be used to insert different kind of elements to our web page. Like p tag can be used to add a paragraph. HR tag can be used to add a horizontal rule in our web page. BR for line break. And this H1, H6, these all are heading tags. And there are different kind of tags for ordered and unordered list and the list items. Just don't worry about that, I will tell you. When we come about paragraph tag, guys, here you can see that inside my body tag, I have opened the body tag and this is the closing. Sorry. Okay, guys, so we have specify a paragraph. For paragraph, what I am doing, I am writing a paragraph inside this p tag. I am firstly opening this p tag, I am writing a text and I am then closing it. And when you see the output, if you can see, there is a paragraph and I am adding in another paragraph below it. So what I am doing, I am adding two paragraphs one after another and the text which I want
Excuse me,
to
Megha.
yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Your PPT is not visible. Please share it in full screen.
Okay, just wait.
You can present from the top directly. Present. Yeah.
Is it visible now? Hello?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is now.
Okay. Guys, here you can see that inside the body tag, I have want to add a paragraph. So I have to declare, yes, this is a paragraph. So I will declare it inside the p tag. Inside the p tag, the text which I will write will appear as a paragraph. Here you can see this is a paragraph of text. I'm writing this paragraph inside this p tag and I'm adding in another p tag. Here the another paragraph comes. So anything I want to add a paragraph, I will write inside the p tag. Wait a minute. Okay guys, this is all about paragraph. Now if I want to add a horizontal rule, here you can see between two paragraphs there is a line. This is known as horizontal rule. If I want to add this horizontal rule in my web page, I will use HR tag. Here you can see I have written the code, body tag and the paragraph tag where I am writing the text. I have closed this paragraph tag and after that I am writing an HR tag which is giving me a horizontal rule after this paragraph. Now you might be wondering that I have added two tags, opening tag and a closing tag for paragraph. But when I'm writing horizontal rule tag, there is no such item. Guys, it is a different kind of tag because inside the horizontal rule tag is just a line. We are not writing anything in the horizontal rule. Okay, so it can be considered as a self-closing tag. You can declare it as a bracket, name, backslash, front slash, and that tag. This is the HR tag. So you can see that there is a horizontal rule added to my web page. And again, I am adding a paragraph which will come below this horizontal rule. Okay, guys, now let's talk about the line break. Guys, I am writing a paragraph, but I want that the line, this will not cover the whole web page or the width of whole web page. I want a line to come in the next line. For example, if we press enter, we come to the next line. If you are using if you learn any other programming language, you use \n to come into the next line. Similarly here, when we are writing a paragraph, inside a paragraph, here you can see I have added a BR tag. This BR tag is known as break tag. But it is actually doing, it is like you can see, this is the text, this is the second paragraph of text. And it is coming in the next line because I have added this break tag, which is giving the text in the next line. Let's talk about the headings. If we want to add heading to a web page, hello?
Excuse me, Megha. Just
Yes?
hide that DSC community.dev is sharing your screen. Just hide that box. People are complaining. Sorry to disturb you.
Okay, no problem, no issue. Okay, guys, here you can see when I want to add heading to my web pages, there are different kind of sizes like H1, H2, H3, H4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is to specify the size. Guys, just look at this image. If I am writing, this is an H1 heading. Inside the H1 tag, it is coming of this size. When I am adding inside the H2 tag, it is of this size. Here you can see it is decreasing. Okay, so If you want to add headings in different formats, you can add h1, h2, h3, h4 and h6 tag. It is h1 from h6. Okay guys, also if you want to add some list to your web page, you know there are two types of list, unordered list and ordered list. Unordered list means you are giving bullets to your list, and ordered list means you are specifying it like 1, 2, 3 in a sequence. Okay, so if you want to add unordered list to your web page, you have to give a tag to that list, that is UL tag. UL means U stands for unordered and L stands for list, unordered list. And similarly, if you want to add an ordered list to your web page, you will specify it as OL. And inside this UL tag, you will add list items. Here you can see this is the list, and here apple, bananas, cantaloupes, these are the list items. And for the list items, we will specify the LI tag. So here you can see I have write the UL tag, and inside that I am writing LI tag, which is the list items, apples, and I'm then closing it. And again I am adding a list, which list item, and giving a text bananas, and then I am closing it. So this is the syntax for adding any list. Just add a UL tag, and inside the opening and the closing of UL tag, add the list items. Similarly, for ordered list, the syntax is same, but the main thing is that it is now OL. Here it was UL for unordered list, and now it is OL for ordered list. Now you can see the change in your web page. Now it is no more bullets. It is coming as numbering. You are giving a sequence to your list. Okay guys, so it's everything I have told you. It was all about adding text to a web page. Now if we want to add tables to your web page, firstly you have to see that what is the actual structure of your table. Like this is your table, these are rows, these are cells. You might know ना, you have तुम सबने एक्सेल तो यूज किया ही होगा, तुम लोगों को पता है कि हम लोग यहाँ पे टेबल्स में रोज, कॉलम्स एंड सेल्स यूज करते हैं. ओके, सो इफ आई वांट, मुझे अगर टेबल ऐड करनी है, सबसे पहले आई हैव टू स्पेसिफाई यस दिस इज अ टेबल. ओके, then I will specify this is a row, or this is the heading of each column, this is row, and this is the cell of this row. I have to specify each thing. Now when I write the syntax of my table, what will I do? Firstly, I will specify yes this is a table. I will declare the table tag. Inside this table tag, firstly I will define yes this is a row, this one is row, this one is row. For specifying the rows, we have tr tag. So inside the table tag, this is tr tag. Guys, I know this is just kind of a fast thing for you, but no problem. When we will be making project, you will learn that side by side you are adding something what is showing on your web page, but it is actually giving output to your web page. You will be seeing. Okay, so we are adding tr tag is to add a row. We are giving row to our web page. And inside this tr, I'm writing a th tag. This is the tr tag, and inside this I'm adding th tag. Th means the heading for our column. Like this is the column and this is the heading, serial number, and for this column this is the heading, company name. For giving it as a heading, I will add th tag. Th means table heading. Okay, it is the heading for the columns. For the tr tags, there are 3 columns, each have one heading. So th tag, inside this th tag I will add as serial number, and I'm closing it, and I'm again adding the th tag. I'm writing the company name, and I'm then again closing it. Similarly, you can add as many as table heading, as many as th tags as you want. Okay, so I have added the th tags. Now I want to close the row. So I will add the closing tag for the table row. Now I will again input the next row. I have completed the first row. Now I want to specify the second row. For that, I will start again the tr tag, and inside the tr tag, now I want to specify that this is the first cell. For the cells, I want to use that td tag. Td is used for table cells. Td tag and inside the TD tag, I will write my text which I want to show on this cell. Similarly, again I will use TD tag. This TD tag is for the second cell. I'm going inside the row now. So this is first cell, second cell. So I'm adding a TD tag, I'm writing a text, and then again adding a TD tag, and again adding a TD tag. Means I'm specifying these cells one by one in my row. And this, now the row is closed, and again for the third row, the similar process. And after adding each row, after adding all the rows, I will close my table. Okay, backslash table tag. Here you can see in bottom. So guys, this was all about table. There are many more tags which we can use in table, like table headings, table footers. You will know later and you can explore it about that. There are many more tags which we can use in this. So guys, this was all about the text we can add or the tables we can add in our web page. Now I will hand over to Yukt, who will tell you more about this. Yukt.
Thank you, Megha. Am I audible, guys?
Yes, you are you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll be sharing my screen now. Just a minute. Is my screen visible? Akshat?
Not yet. Yes, it is. Now it is.
Okay, okay. So, hello guys, I'm Yukt Kataria from IC second year. As Megha has told about some basic HTML tags, now we'll be discussing about some further tags which will be used in a simple web page. Just a minute. Is my PPT visible?
Not yet, Yukt.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's fine. It's visible now.
It's open.
Okay, okay. Just a minute. My screen is just loading. Actually, my PC has become a little bit slow. Sorry guys for the delay. Screen is just loading. Okay, just a minute. I'll share my screen again. Wait for 2 minutes, guys. Sorry for the delay.
Yukt, I can share the screen and you can speak. That would be fine. Okay.
Yeah, it would be great, Akshat. Can you please?
Yeah, sure.
Start from the 19th slide, links one. So yeah, guys. Okay. Now we'll be discussing about links in HTML. So as you all know, we can find links in almost every basic HTML page. Even if you visit our NIT Jalandhar website, when you go to the student corner, you'll find many links there. Some are for submitting the fees, some are for checking out the result. So all those are links. So to generate those links, we'll be using links tag in HTML. So links tag comprises of, first of all, it comprises of an anchor tag. Here you can see where Akshat's pointer is pointing at A, it is an anchor tag. First of all, the tag will begin with an angular bracket. After that, we'll write A, and then we'll write href. Href attribute refers to the hypertext reference. Actually, this href attribute contains the value of link which we want to take user to. Okay, like if you click on here, you can see in the image given below, if you click on NIT Jalandhar, you will be taken to the NIT Jalandhar website. So here you in the href tag, you have to provide the link on which web page you want to go. Okay, then we'll be closing the anchor tag. You have to close with the angular bracket. Then we'll be writing the text you want to be displayed on the screen. Like here it is visible, NIT Jalandhar is visible, and this text will appear on the screen. And whenever you click on this, it will take you to the href attribute. It will take you to the link which was specified in the href attribute. Okay, and then we have to close the tag. We have to close the anchor tag. For closing, just add a slash before A. Okay. See there are slashes put before A. So this is the closing tag. Okay. Now, what is anchor tag used for? Anchor tag is used to make some text clickable. So okay, if you are using A and then you have written NIT Jalandhar, it will make NIT Jalandhar clickable. You can click on the NIT Jalandhar text written on the page. Okay, and href attribute hypertext reference, it instructs the browser which page to load if the link is clicked. Okay, so when you click on NIT Jalandhar, the link specified in the href attribute will be opened. Okay, is that clear, guys? Next, we move on to Akshat. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next, we move on to images. You will find that in almost every website for companies, like logos are there. In NIT Jalandhar website also, you can see that B.R. Ambedkar logo is there. So how those logos are added? Those logos are added by image tag. Okay. So here you can see img src is equal to yug.jpg. Okay, so this is a syntax for image tag. Image tags are self-closing, like in the previous one, anchor tag, you open separately and close separately. You use A 2 times. Okay, but here yeah, you can show. See here, the tag was opened by Akshat. Show once and show the anchor tag once. You can check the anchor tag here. In the beginning, we have written A, and then after the link, we have closed the angular brackets. Then again, at the ending, we have written, we have started the angular brackets. Then we have put a slash and written A again and closed the angular brackets. So in the beginning, it is an opening tag, and in the end, it is the closing tag. Now move to image one. Yeah, but see, in case of image, we don't have a closing tag here. Image tags are self-closing, so we just need to put a slash at the end and then close the angular brackets. Okay, so in image tags we have to specify src. Src refers to source. It specifies the image name and the full path of the image, like where the it wants to know, like your PC wants to know exactly where what is the location of the image in your PC. Okay, like if your image is present in Windows C or Drive D, like anything, you have to specify the full path where your image is present. And you should actually prefer to keep the image in same folder as the HTML file, because when you specify the link, I have written simply my image name. I have not specified any path. Here in the example, it is because I have just I have placed my image in the same folder as the HTML file. Okay. Next, Akshat. Now, guys, let's talk about web forms. Web forms are required. Firstly, guys, you'll find out that so many tags are there, and you don't need to mug up all these tags. You just need to know that such any such tag exists, and then whenever you find that you require any of these tags, then you can simply Google it. There are many resources like W3 Schools. You can note down the resources actually. Uh, W3 Schools, it is a very useful website. You'll find almost all the languages like HTML, CSS, JavaScript here, and also you can refer to MDN. MDN, M as in man, D as in document, and N as in Nobita. Say, I hope all of you have watched Doraemon earlier. So, okay, guys, note down the resources W3 Schools and MDN. Okay, so now we head on to web forms. So you can see that in every login or sign up page, you'll find that web forms are there. Actually, forms are used the whenever we need to retrieve any information from the user. See, when you sign up or login, you enter your information in those columns. Okay, like you enter your name, your email ID, your password, everything. So that all information goes to the company whose website is there. Okay, so there are basically three parts of forms. Firstly, there are labels. Labels are used to specify what info the user needs to enter. Okay, like you say first name, so the user will enter first name. Like how will the user come to know what I have to add in the blank? So that is specified by labels. Okay, so next, input tag. Input tag is used to create the blank space in which the user has to enter the text. Like you always see a white column there where you enter your name or roll number or anything. That is created using an input tag. Next, move on to the button. Button tag is used to submit the form. At the end of a form or login or sign up page, you will find a button that will be used to submit the form and take you to the next page. So that is done by button tag. Next, Akshat. Now we come to the input tag. As I have said earlier, input tag is used to create a blank space for the user to enter the information. Don't worry, guys. At the end of these slides, I'll be showing you an example where I'll be making it clear which space is created by which tag. Okay. So input tag is used to create a blank space where the user can enter info. See, you can see the syntax here. Input type is equal to text. Placeholder is equal to enter name. Okay. Here input tags are self-closing as specified in the image tag. You don't need to specify input two times here. You just need to type a slash at the end and then close with the angular brackets. Now let me talk about what is type is equal to text used here for. So you may find that in different columns you need to enter different kind of information. Like sometimes you need to enter you need the user to enter emails or passwords or anything. So that time we have to specify what kind of info is required, because sometimes when we want the user to enter email, then by using, if we specify the type to email, it will automatically require an @ symbol. If the user has not entered the @ symbol, then it will show any error and will tell the user that your input is not valid. Okay, like if you set this type to password, then also it will not display your password. It will show star 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 star. So these changes are there which are done by changing the type to text. If the type is simply text, then your input will be displayed as text. Okay, now come to placeholder. What is placeholder? So you can see that in the white space, sometimes in the light, Akshat, the same slide. Yeah, sometimes in the white space, in the light gray color, it is written what you need to enter. Like in the password column, it is written sometimes that your password must be of 7 characters or 8 characters. that is written inside the white space in light gray color. So that is the purpose of placeholder. Uh, Now I have written enter name here as a value of placeholder. It will be displayed in the white box in which you need to enter the input. Okay, so next slide, Akshit. Button tag. At the end of your form, a button tag is required, which will be used to submit the form, or and it will take you to the next page. So to write a button tag, just everything else is just same as input tag. You just need to change the type to submit here. If you change the type to submit, the web browser will know that you need to take the user to the next page. Okay, and in between the closing and the opening tag, you have to give the value to the button. Like if you give any value here, that value will be displayed on the button. If you write done here, then the button will contain done text. If you write okay, then the button will be containing okay text. Just make sure you set the type to submit. Okay, next, Akshat. Labels in form. So as I mentioned earlier, label is used to specify what the user needs to enter. Okay, like if the user needs to enter email, then we'll specify the label as email. Actually, label tags are not mandatory to use. We can also use paragraph tags or heading tags instead of label tags, but actually it is basic purpose of label tags, that they'll be used in forms. So we have to specify what the user needs to enter, and then we have to use the input tag. I'll be showing you next slide what actually all of this was for. Akshat. So yeah, this is the basic syntax for form. First of all, you need to open the form tag. In the beginning, you can see that the form tag is opened, and at the end, the form tag is closed using a slash, and then it is not a self-closing tag, so we have to write form again. So now you can see in the beginning, I have used label tag first name. So see in the image, you can see in the image. Akshat, can you please point out? See here, this is the purpose of label tag. You have to specify specify what the user needs to enter. So here first name is the label, and then I have used input type is equal to text. So the box appears which contains white blank space. If Akshat will, if you will press on it, then a cursor will appear. You can type on it. Okay. Then I have used a label for email ID. Again, you can see the text email ID appears. So this is because of the label tag. You can also use paragraph or heading tags here, as I mentioned earlier, but label tags are made for this purpose only. Okay. So again, you will see that input tag is there. I have specified the type to email. So if you will type some random text in this in the second input box, it will not be accepted, because as the type is specified to email, adding an @ symbol is mandatory. If you will not add the @ symbol in the second input box, then your text will not be accepted, and it will show that some error is there. Okay. At the end, I have specified, I have put a button tag, and it contains button type is equal to submit. So whenever you click on that button, your form will be submitted, and the text in between the closing and the opening tag, you can see I have written done here. You can also write okay, then on the button okay will appear. So it is just for the value that you need the user to see. Okay. Then at the end, the form tag is closed. See, I know that you might not have understood everything, but you will understood as we had you will understand as we head on to the project. Okay. So now the last tag, division tag. Division tag is used to actually divide the web page into different sections. It will not be used much in today's workshop, but it will be used. It is of major use in the CSS workshop. Actually, when you divide the web page into different sections, you can apply different CSS properties. Like you can set first half of the page to red color, second half of the page to green color. It was just a basic example Like you can divide the page into sections and apply different properties, different text fonts, different colors to the different parts of the web page. Okay. At the end, we'll be heading on to the project. At that time, it will be much clear that what these tags are used for. Okay. For now, Akshat will be explaining some basics about semantics, and then we'll head on to the project. So thank you, guys. Akshat, over to
Hello
you.
guys, once again. So my screen is already visible to you. So now you might have understood some tags and might not have understood everything, but you will be practicing it in the later project. So don't worry if you have not understood anything. You would be given a project and we would be performing a hands-on coding with long session with you, and you would be doing the coding with us and you would be understanding everything which is happening. Now there is a one most important means one of the most important topics of HTML which are the semantics. सिमेंटिक्स का अगर हम मतलब देखें डिक्शनरी में तो उसका होता है मीनिंग मतलब होता है उसका. Semantics are one of the most important topics, but they are neglected ignored by most of the tutorials and most of the web development bootcamps you will ever see, because it is one of the toughest topics as well, being one of the most important and one of the toughest topics, tough to understand I should say, but I'll try to explain it in as easy way as possible. A semantic element clearly describes its meaning to the browser and the developer. इसका मतलब ये है कि जो जब भी आप कोई सिमेंटिक एलिमेंट का यूज करते हो, वेन एवर यू यूज एनी सिमेंटिक एलिमेंट, फॉर एग्जाम्पल फॉर्म, टैब एंड आर्टिकल, इसका मतलब डेवलपर और ब्राउजर को दोनों को पता लग जाता है कि इसका पर्पस क्या है. वेन एवर यू यूज एनी फॉर्म इट मीन्स that you have to get input from the user. You cannot use form for anything other than that. For the div tag you can put any content inside it. So div tag is not a semantic element, it is an unsemantic element because it does not have any meaning attached to it. While form, table, article tag, these three tags are the elements which have some meaning associated with them. If you use a table tag you would have rows and columns in it. You cannot use anything inside a table tag. That would be a raw and false assumption of applying HTML tags on any HTML document. Then there is an article tag. Article tag you will study in later detail. In the next slides, I would be explaining you what is an article tag and what were the improvements after the HTML 4.0, which caught the eye of many people. Now in programming, semantics offer meaning to the code. Semantics is not just a topic of HTML. Semantics is a topic of whole CSC, of whole coding. The code you write has to be understandable by every person you ever get who is a developer. What is the use of writing a code which is only understood by you and no one else other than you can understand the code written by you? Then it is of no use, because कोई उस पे क्या ही मेहनत करेगा? How will he optimize that code which is only understood by yourself? The best developers, जो भी best developers होते हैं, they write code that is easily understandable by everyone. कोई भी बिगनर से लेके बड़े तक लेके उनको कोई भी कोड समझना आसान होता है. जो बिग डेवलपर्स जो कोड लिखते हैं उनकी ये सबसे बड़ी खासियत होती है, कोड इजी लैंग्वेज में लिखना चाहिए. कोड शुड बी रिटन विद मीनिंग. एवरी लाइन शुड हैव अ डेफिनेट मीनिंग एंड इजी अंडरस्टैंडिंग. Now coming to clearing the semantics with some example. Now you have studied the h1 tag. What is an h1 tag? आपने h1 tag देखा कि h1, h2, h3 size में decrease हो रहे हैं. They are decreasing in their size whenever they are going higher in number. But whatever you understanding, h1 means the top level heading. Actually, it is the biggest heading of an HTML document. Biggest not in terms of size, but biggest in terms of relevance and significance. H1 सबसे बड़ा टैग होता है डॉक्यूमेंट का और वो एक ही यूज होता है मोस्टली. अगर आप सिमेंटिक्स के साथ चलोगी, every HTML document has to contain just one H1 tag, and the big websites like Google, they have an H1 tag of Google. The most important tag is the H1 tag. Now the second thing is, आपने ये तो देख लिया कि इसकी सिग्निफिकेंस बहुत है. अगर मैं स्पैन लिखूं, स्पैन भी एक ऐसा एलिमेंट है डिव की तरह का, लेकिन ये टेक्स्ट की तरह. आप इसको अभी सपोज कर सकते हो इट इज लाइक अ पी एलिमेंट, पैराग्राफ एलिमेंट समझ लो इसको. अभी आपको बाद में समझ आएगा जैसे जैसे आप बढ़ोगे, लेकिन अभी आप इसको पी एलिमेंट समझ लो. This is style. This I did not want to teach you, but I wanted to give you an example, so I introduced some inline CSS. ये styling है कि मैंने टेक्स्ट को स्टाइल किया थोड़ा बहुत, और मैंने उसको जब मैंने इन दोनों टैग्स का आउटपुट लिया तो मेरे पास ये आया. Whenever you will see both these outputs on a screen, क्या आप कह सकते हो कि इन दोनों में कोई डिफरेंस है? आपको दिखने में कोई डिफरेंस नहीं लग रहा, लेकिन ये दोनों में बहुत ज्यादा फर्क है. ये टॉप लेवल हेडिंग है, लेकिन क्या आप इसको भी टॉप लेवल हेडिंग कह सकते हो? आप इसको टॉप लेवल हेडिंग नहीं कह सकते, क्योंकि ये एक स्पैन टैग है. इसको हमने स्टाइलिंग करके बड़ा छोटा किया है, लेकिन उसकी सिग्निफिकेंस उतनी ज्यादा नहीं है जितनी एक H1 टैग की होगी. और आप अगर एक डेवलपर भी होंगे, इफ यू आर अ डेवलपर, then you would be seeing H1 and span. So you would be obviously be very comfortable in seeing H1 rather than this type of span, which is being modified some size CSS to look like an H1 tag. So it is looking like an H1 tag, but it is not. This is the meaning. So I hope you are clear with that. Now there are some semantic elements which were added in HTML5. They were not present in HTML 4.01, but they were added in HTML5 to add some semantics to the things. अभी अभी आपको युक्त ने div tag कराया. He has taught you the div tag that it is referring to some section in an element. It is dividing it into the sections. But what if we give some specific names to that div, so that whenever a user sees it, he understands that what is that div used for. कोई भी div अगर आपके एलिमेंट में है, तो उसका अगर हम नेम चेंज करके उसको किसी और सिमेंटिक से डिस्क्राइब कर दें, जो कि काम div जैसा ही करे, लेकिन हमें उसके नाम से कुछ समझने लग पड़े. हम अगर डेवलपर हैं, हम किसी का कोड देखें HTML का, तो किसी चीज के नाम से अगर हम उसको समझने लग पड़े, तो हमारे लिए ज्यादा आसानी होगी. दैट इज वाई वी इंट्रोड्यूस सम सिमेंटिक एलिमेंट्स लाइक हेडर. हेडर में हम इंट्रोडक्टरी कंटेंट ऑफ द डॉक्यूमेंट लाते हैं सिमेंटिक्स के तौर पे. ऊपर हेडर जो भी वेबसाइट के होते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल दैट कंटेन्स द nav bars, द मेन लोगो ऑफ द वेबसाइट, द मेन लिंक ऑफ द वेबसाइट, द बिगेस्ट मेन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स जो टॉप पर होती हैं, वो हम हेडर में क्लासिफाई करते हैं. द फुटर, फुटर इज द फुटर ऑफ द एलिमेंट, जहां पे कॉपीराइट्स होते हैं, जहां पे nav links होते हैं, social media links are there, the subscribe to newsletter buttons are there, all the things are there in the footer tag. And there is a section. Section is a basically, its name describes it, that it defines a section in a document. A specific section in a document can be referred to as a section. I'll explain you in detail whatever these things are, but just be with me for some time. Now there is an aside tag. Aside, whenever we use any aside tag is referring to that section that is aside in a document. For example, a sidebar. Whenever you open any website, there are sidebars associated with them. That section is known as aside. If we write the document semantically, we would be using aside better than a div, so that it is understood by the developer easily, whosoever is watching your code. The next thing is article. Article is a it specifies independent self-contained content. Article may contain paragraph elements, image elements, a elements, whatever the content you want to post, whatever the content, like articles, you write articles, that type of article is an element article tag. Now nav generally is kept under the header tag. Nav is used under a header tag because all the navigation links that are on there on your website, for example, home, about us, contact us, there are different portions in a website that are navigation links. So these set of navigation links are semantically kept into a nav tag. For example, anchor tag is used to denote link. Anchor tags, a set of anchor tags would be kept under nav tags, and then they would be styled according to look different on different types of websites. I hope you are understanding. Now, if you are a developer, which one would you choose? Would you choose this one? I'll not get you to ID and class. You can take it as an identity that would be taught to you in detail by the CSS people. But here you can take it as an identity to specify something. So here, these two things, these two codes would produce the exactly same output. But as a developer, which one would you prefer? Would you prefer this div closes, div opens, image, div opens, div closes, div closes, div closes, div closes, div ID equals to footer, div closes. Here, header closes. Section starts, article starts, figure starts, there is an image inside it, then there is a figure caption inside it. You all might know caption, the underlined thing in an image now that describes the image. That is a figure caption. Figure closes, article closes, section closes, footer opens, and footer closes. As a developer, most of you, I'm not able to hear your responses, but I am assuming that you all will prefer this one because this looks much better to the eye. Whosoever is reading your content, there is no content inside it placed because it was just an example. But as a developer, you would obviously preferring this one because it is much more easier to understand than this. This is a very tough way and a bad way, I should say, if you are writing in HTML5. Although people mostly use this because it was preferred in HTML 4.01 and people have not just updated themselves, but it would be a very nice idea if you start to use sections and articles instead of divs. Now, next thing is semantic sections. What I told you what are headers, nav bars, aside, section, and footer. But here is an image which classifies header. The main website's header is this part, the top part, wherever the logo is there, the proper styling is there in the head, and nav bars like home, contact us, about us, rules, different types of navigation links are there on a website that are kept under the nav tag. This is the section tag. Inside it, you can put any paragraph elements, any image elements, any article elements, heading elements. Heading elements are just one, that is H1 is just one, H2 and H3 can be many inside your file. And there is an aside. This is a sidebar. Most of the websites have this type of structure, and they usually design websites in such a way that they look like this. Although they work similar to div, but they are not same as div because they convey a special meaning to a specific section of a uh, HTML document, and obviously you would be preferring this one much more than the other one. Now, one more example. One of the students asked also in the comment box or the chat box that how can we italic the text or emphasize the text? There are text styling elements like B and strong, EM and I. Now here inside the doc type HTML, this is the basic structure of an HTML document, which has been explained to you in a lot detail, and you would be implementing this in the codes along section as well. But this is the basic structure. This is a bold tag. Inside it, this text is bold, bold closes, and paragraph closes. This is the strong tag. This is the EM tag, and this is the I tag. Now, first we'll talk about bold and strong. This text is bold, this text is strong. Are you finding any clear difference between them? No, because there is nothing which is differentiating when they look to the eye. So why would they keep two elements that give exactly the same output? The answer lies in the question only, that the semantics, whenever the semantics are used, the website is not only seen by people, they are also heard by people. लोगों को सुनाई भी देती हैं, क्योंकि कई लोग ब्लाइंड होते हैं, तो उनके लिए स्क्रीन रीडर्स आपके रीड करके देते हैं वेबसाइट को. तो जब वो रीड करते हैं, उनके लिए भी हर एक टैग की सिग्निफिकेंस होती है वॉइस रीडर्स की. तो स्ट्रॉन्ग जो होता है वो इंपॉर्टेंट टेक्स्ट को सिग्निफाई कर रहा होता है कि यह टेक्स्ट मेरे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और बी जो होता है वो बोल्ड टेक्स्ट को सिग्निफाई कर रहा होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ऑल इंपॉर्टेंट टेक्स्ट आर बोल्ड, दैट इज अ नेचुरल ट्रूथ, बट ऑल बोल्ड टेक्स्ट आर नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट. Sometimes you can do bold a thing, but it might not be as important as you think it is. And same is the case with EM and I. EM and I are producing exactly the same input, but EM means emphasized text and I means italicized text. Same thing occurs here. Emphasized text means emphasis is given to that text. This text is being emphasized. When the screen reader would read it, it would read it as an emphasizing part. It would give emphasis on this part whenever it will read it. And italicized part is not given emphasis. It is just to attract the attention of the user while visiting a website. I hope you have all understood. This is what comes under semantics. Semantics is a very wide topic. You might come closer to many tag elements like on the W3C resources, on other things as well. But this is basically what is an HTML text style element. So guys, your wait is over. Now we have the project time. You will be working hands on. Be ready with your ID setup, that is Visual Studio. And my friends Yukta and Megha would you guide you along that code along session. You can just see them and implement the same things they are doing on your own computer, and you will be ready with your website in the end. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Akshat. First of all, Ishjot was asking whether we have to remember all these tags or not. So I have said earlier also, you don't need to remember all these tags. You don't need to mug up or cram them. You just need to remember that such a tag exists. And so that whenever you need it, you can use it. You can simply Google it when you need it, and you will find the proper syntax. No need to cram anything. Okay. So now we'll start with the project. We'll be building a basic portfolio. You guys can open your VS Codes. I'll be writing some code and you guys have to follow. Okay. I'll be sharing my screen first. Sarthak or Akshay, just let me know if my screen is visible.
Not yet, Blue.
Okay.
Right. We can see
Now
it.
it is now.
Okay. So guys, first of all, open your desktop. We have to create a new folder for the project. You can right click and then you have to click go on new and then select folder to create a new folder. I hope all of you are aware about this. You can set the folder name to anything. Let's say I'm setting it to a bootcamp folder. So just create a folder. Now we'll be opening it using VS Code. I hope all of you have opened VS Code.
Guys, just
Guys, if you are done with the task, then just write in the text box so that I may proceed further. Okay, just write in the text box when you are done.
you will
Then
tell you
open
to
folder.
proceed. Will tell you to proceed according to the
Okay, yes.
queries we get in the chat box. Guys.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, then select the open folder option and you can select the folder which you just created. It is an empty folder. You have to select that folder and open it. Okay, click here on the select folder option. So I hope all of you have opened your folder in the VS Code. Uh, Close this welcome window, and then you can see here where my pointer is pointing out. It is showing an option for new file. Just click here and type the name of a new file. Make the name as index.html. See, .html is necessary to we have to use this extension to specify that it is an HTML file. Similarly, for CSS, you will be using .css, and for JavaScript, you will be using .js as an extension. Okay, so when you type the name, just press enter. This file will be created and it will be opened. So guys, index.html is open. We start writing the code now. First of all, we have to write the boilerplate as Mehra specified in our slides. We'll be starting with doc type HTML. Exclamation mark, doc type HTML. Then angular bracket will be closed. This doc type HTML is used to specify that we are going to type the code in HTML. Okay. Next, we'll open the HTML tag. You can see that the closing tag automatically appears on your window. So if you'll be writing your code on Notepad, this won't be there. You have to write closing tags separately. But if you're using VS Code, Sublime, or Atom, the closing tag automatically appears on your window. Then the boilerplate we have to include head. Again, the closing tag automatically appears. And then inside the head, we have to write the meta char set. Equal to UTF-8. As Megha has told earlier, this will just make our language. This will convert our language into simpler machine language, which will be understandable by the computer. Okay. So after setting meta char set is equal to UTF-8, just close the angular bracket, and then specify the title of your HTML file. Just remember that this title will appear on the window, on the top of your window. Whenever you open a tab on Google Chrome, there's always a title for the tag na. So whatever you specify inside these title tags, it will be on the top of your tag. So let's say my portfolio. Now after the head, we'll be starting body tag. First of all, guys, see my text is going in a slanting manner. It is because of indentation. You have to tell which tag is inside which tag. So like my head tag appears before I close the HTML tag. So my head tag is inside the HTML tag. So this is known as indentation. It is used for beautifying the code. So it makes the code clearly understandable. You can easily figure out whether which tag is inside which tag. It is very important while coding Python. However, while writing HTML, it is not so much important. You can even write the code in a straight line. Okay, now we'll be starting with body tag. Have all of them written up here? Just ask in the chat box, and I'll proceed further. Akshat, am I audible?
Yes, just 1 second. I'm just reading the replies over here. I think most of them have done, so I think you can proceed.
Okay. So now, first of all, we'll be adding an image tag. Image src is equal to whatever your file name will be there. Then you have to close the tag. See, it is a self-closing tag. I didn't need to write image again. I just put a slash at the end and close the angular brackets. So for adding the image, first of all, I told you your image must be in the same folder as your HTML file. So go back to your desktop. Add an image to the same folder in which your HTML file is present. I have my image on the desktop. I'll be adding it to the same folder. So now when you open VS Code, you can see my image has appeared in the left side of VS Code. See this left section. Now it contains two things: index.html and yip.jpg. Okay, so I'll just put my image name inside the src attribute. Make sure you don't make any typos or alphabetical, even that caps or small you have to maintain. You have to check the casing. It must be same. After adding this image tag, I'll be writing some headings. First of all, I'll write my name. Inside the h1 tag. See, firstly I open the h1 tag. It is used for the heading. Then I put my heading inside it, whatever I wanted to show. Then I close the h1 tag. Okay. Then I'll be writing about myself, something about my bio. You can check here. Yeah. Like I told you about emphasis tag. I'll be using it here. Then I have to make something. I have to show that something is important. I'll be using the strong tag. Okay. Emphasis tag will make the text in italics, and strong tag will make the text bold. And it also specified that this particular text is very important. Similarly, let me write something else here. Second. Then add on further. Write another heading, and in this you can specify your hobbies, for example. Inside the hobbies, we'll be creating an unordered list. Megha has told earlier that for unordered list we use UL tag. That inside the UL tag for list items we'll be using li tag. Write anything here. Right. Let's add 2 or 3 list items so that your web page may look good. So now after this UL tag, first of all, Sarthak, just confirm if you have reached till here or not.
Yeah, 1 second. Everyone who has done up until this point, please write in the chat box so we have an idea of where everyone is. Also, Yukt,
Yeah.
considering this as a checkpoint, can you just open the HTML file so that they can see what is actually coming on the web page, so they have an idea?
Yeah, sure.
Show them the output once.
So just focus here for once. You can see the index.html written on the left window in VS Code. Just right click here and click on copy path. Then open your Google Chrome or any other web browser. just paste your link here. Whatever you have copied, paste it here. Then enter.
Yep, I think you forgot to save the file.
Just a minute. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was showing in it. Just refresh. Guys, don't forget to save your file. And definitely don't close the tab without saving the file. See, I have firstly I included the image. I use the emphasis tag here. So the team member is in italics. And then I use the strong tag here. So DSC NIT Jalandhar is in bold. Okay. So these are these next. I included hobbies in an H1 tag, and then the further items were put using an unordered list. Okay, so as it was an unordered list, so it is being shown as bullet points. But if you would have used ordered list, then it would show 1, 2, and 3. So guys, you can check on your laptop also if your web page is working correctly. Shall I proceed further?
There's a doubt regarding the image. I think there might be an issue with the image name, as Yukt had mentioned. So just be sure
Yeah.
that it's in the same case.
Also, you must specify the correct path. If your image is in some another folder, then you have to specify the whole path, like Windows C, users ABC, Windows C, then that particular folder name, then file name. So it is better if you just place it in the same folder as your HTML file. If you are if you are having any doubt, please share a code. Take a screenshot and share a code in the WhatsApp group. We'll check it out from there.
Yukt, can you just repeat the process for opening the HTML page? A few of them are not sure of how to do it.
Okay, so first of all, you have to click here on the file. Sadak, what are they asking? How to open the HTML page on Google Chrome?
Yes. How to open the HTML page on the Google Chrome.
Okay. Just right click here where HTML file name is there. Index of HTML is written. You have to right click here and then click on copy path. All of you can see copy path is written here. Just copy the path and then open it in your web browser. Just paste the link here. Control plus V, paste the link here, hit the center. See at the top, my title is being shown as a title. I used my title here. It was shown as title in your web browser. So now if you have no doubts left, then I'll proceed further. I'll just be adding a link here. Another page. This page will be created by Mega further, but I'm just adding a link here. Contact.html. See guys, as I mentioned earlier, href is used to specify the link that what page we want to open, and this the text between the opening and the closing tag that will be shown on your web page. So when you click on contact me, contact.html will open. Okay, we'll be creating contact.html afterwards. First of all, let's complete this web page. Now I'll be adding a table. For that table, just open the table tag. It will automatically be closed at the end, and in between you have to write the head. Yeah, as Akshat mentioned, these have been included in HTML 5.0. Earlier, we used to use div tags for these purposes. In t head, we have to mention table row. We have to start the table row tag, and then I'll be writing this serial number here. In the table row tag, we have to make different headings. Serial number will be a heading, so I'll be placing it in PS tag. PS stands for table heading. Okay. Inside the table row, I'm adding a heading, serial number. And I'll be creating another heading. It will be shown on the right side of serial number. Get education. Okay. So this will be my first row. To just show you what just happened. Save your file and refresh the page. You can see a link appears. This text is clickable. So contact me appears, and below I have added three headings in my in a row of the table. Okay. Now we'll be creating next row. Again, open a tr tag because it is the next row. Now instead of th tag, use td tag because it is not the heading; it is the table data. For data, use td tag. Add the serial number. Then let's say schooling and mention your institute. Uh, these all these table data will appear in a row. Okay, so there's no way of writing data in a column. Somebody was asking in the chat box, is there any tc tag? So there is no such tc tag. We have to add the data row wise only. Now we can create a last row. Serial number, let's say. Yes, this will just be a basic page. Further styling and functionality will be included in the next two workshops. That will be for CSS and JavaScript respectively. Then I'll be adding here VTech. I hope all of you have completed till here. Once again, save your file and refresh the page. Open your web browser, refresh the page. You can see here. See, it appears in the form of a table. Serial number 1, 2, and then education, institute, schooling. So as you can notice, added all this info row wise. Firstly, we added serial number, then education and institute. Then I typed one schooling and St. Joseph's. Similarly, the data is being added row wise. So this is all for contact.html page. This is all for index.html. Sorry. Now Megha will be teaching you how to make a contact.html page. Just a minute, guys. Have you all finished till here? Are you facing any issues? Just type in the text box if you are facing any issues. So if all of you are done, then I'll ask Megha to please help them making a contact.html page, so that link which we made in the index.html, it will start working. So when you'll be done with contact.html, this link, when you will be clicking on this link, it will be opening the contact.html page. So over to you, Megha.
Okay, guys, it seems that you have learned how to make this index page. Now, if I want to make a contact form and I want to link that web page with that, firstly, I will start with making the contact form. Okay, so I will be sharing my screen. Just a second. Okay, guys, this is my Visual Studio Code. Okay, here we have made this index page, right? Now I want to add another web page. So what I will do, just go to this folder. Here you can hover and you can see the new file option. Just add a new file and then type contact.html. This extension .html means that we are making an HTML file. Okay, guys. I put enter and then we come. So guys, you were asking that can't we use snippets? Guys, just look at, you are making different kind of web pages. You will be making multiple web pages. Okay, and this doc type HTML head body, this is the basic structure of any HTML document. So there is a need to write it again and again while making web pages? So just do one thing, write HTML. This is the snippet for the basic structure of the HTML code. You will find a list. Okay, go to HTML5, this one, HTML:5. Then you will be click this, there will be a basic structure of your HTML document. Okay, here you can see the old tags are there. You don't need to write it again and again. Okay, also you can change the title if you want. Let me say it as contact page. Okay, just so let's start writing in our body. Okay, so now guys, I want to add a contact form. For that, firstly I want to write above the form that it is contact form. Okay, I want to just like give a heading or something like that. So I will use a paragraph tag. You can also use a heading tag. Okay, and inside this paragraph tag I will write contact number. Okay, and I also want that this heading will come in bold. Okay, so what I will do, inside this paragraph tag I will also add the bold tag, and this contact number, just cut it, and I will write inside this bold tag. What I'm doing, I'm writing this paragraph tag, and inside that the bold tag I'm using, and inside that bold tag I'm writing this contact number. Okay, so going on, Okay, so I will adding in another paragraph tag. Okay, and another bold tag because I want to add my text as bold, and I will be writing email and this. Okay, contact email. Now just wait a minute. Okay guys, so let's save it and I will open it in my Chrome. So just wait a minute. You can also go to your folder which is web bootcamp and double click on this contact file. It will be automatically let you to the web page. Now I have given a heading, contact number, email. Just go to your code. Now I will be creating a form. For creating a form, I need a form tag. Okay, I have written that. Now I will, inside this form tag, I will add a label. Okay, label tag. And for this label tag, I will give a label that is name. I want to add a name and then I want to get input from the user. Okay, and inside this input I will specify which type of input I want to take. It is text form, so I will write text. Okay, then for now you have not learned CSS, so for now you can add a break tag, that is BR tag. But when you will learn CSS, you will learn how to give a break or how to give spaces between the labels and inputs. Okay, so now we add another label. Wait a minute. I will just save it and I will show you what is showing it on the screen. I will just refresh the page. Now you can see this is the label and this is our input. And now I can type anything inside this. Oh, so just go to my code. I will add another label tag. Label tag. And inside this label, I will use email tag. Okay. And after this email, I want to get an input from the user and I would use the type equal sign, and in the double quotes I will specify email. I want to take input in the email type. Okay, and then that's it. Now we add another break tag. Let's save it and then go to a web page. Reload this web page. Wow, name and then email. Okay. Oh, I have added the two headings, email and contact number. I don't want this heading email. I will go to my web page and just delete this para, email. I don't want this. Okay. Just one heading, contact number. Okay. So now I will add another label. Not label, I want to add the submit button. You can add as many as labels you want to add, text, email, you can take address or anything you want, you can add it. Okay, you can add multiple labels and inputs. Now I will make a submit button. I can use a button tag or I can use an input tag also and will name it as a type and we specify it as submit. Okay. Now just it is confirmed now. Okay, all right. So I save it. Wait a minute. I will reload this web page. Wow. Submit button, heading, and this is my form. I can add multiple things like name, email, address. In the email, I can write my email. Okay. So now go to our web page. Now this is it. Now I want to add a horizontal rule also. Okay, so after the form tag I will add HR tag. Okay, so let's see what this HR tag does. We'll refresh my, wow, it is creating an horizontal rule. Okay, so just go to my web page. This is it. Now guys, I want okay, So guys, I want when I click on submit button, the information which I am writing in this will go to my email. Okay, so what will I do? In this form tag, I will add an attribute that is action. Okay, in action, I will write mail to. I want to give the information which I entered in this form to a specific mail. Okay, mail to, and here you can write your email ID. Here is mine, Megha Gupta, and @gmail.com. All right. Okay, you can specify your email ID, and this is it. Here we go. Save this, and I write my name, Megha, and email meghagupta@gmail.com, and when I submit it, it will ask me how do you want to send this mail. So you're getting it. I'm sending this information to the mail, or I'm opening my mail. Okay, so just this. That's it. Now I want to connect this contact.html and this index.html. I want. So I go to my index.html page, and here the link is already added. Okay, I have connected my contact.html page with the index.html page. Okay, no, it is not there. Okay, guys, just do one thing. Go to your head tag. In the head tag, we can link any web page to this web page. Okay, I want to link this contact.html. What will I do? Just add a link tag. No, wait. Sorry. Here, this is the anchor tag. Here we are connecting the web pages. Okay, sorry for this. And here we have specified the contact.html, so that when I go to index.html page, I'm saving this. Okay.
Megha, change the contact.html C to small case.
Okay, just wait. Because I have saved my file like small c, that's why I have changed that. Okay, guys, let's save it and go to my folder. And here, this is the index page. I am opening it. Okay. Oh, this is the large size. Actually, it is the dimension of my image. I can set it. Okay. I can do that by using CSS. We will tell you later on. Okay. You can adjust the size of that image. Here is the same thing you made earlier. And when I click on contact.me, wow, it's here now. Now I have created it, and when I go to back, it's there. So we have made 2 web pages and have linked them. You can make as many as web pages, and all the web pages, when you link them together, it will make a website. Okay, so guys, one thing comes in my mind is that if this form, this education institute, it's not looking very classy, like there is no border, there is no proper space. It is not looking like a table. You have created it like a table now, but it's not looking like that. So here it comes the use of CSS. Why we use CSS? Why we want to style our web page? Here the background, you can see it is the plain white color. It's not look good or nice. So all this properties and many things. You can change your text size. You can change your text format. You can change your font. You can change the size of this image, or anything you want to do. You can do it by CSS. Okay, guys. So one thing more I want to tell you. If I delete this folder, okay, I am deleting this image from my folder. Now, when I go to my web page and reload, it shows that your image is not visible. Yes, it may happen many times. So what I want to do, I want that if the image is not visible, I want to add a text so that it can specify, yes, this is the image is relating about this. you will know what I'm saying. Just go to your index.html page where you have created your image. Okay, just add one more attribute, that is alt equal sign and then double quotes. And in the double quotes, just add a text that describes your image. Like I'm adding Megha Gupta profile pic. That's it. Control plus save. And when I go to my web page and reload it, it shows Megha Gupta profile pic. It means that when my image is not visible here, I can show this text so that if someone is not able to see my pic, he or she can see this text. Okay. So here we have done, wow, we have created a form and a web page. Good to go. So guys, this is all. We have created
Thank you,
that.
Megha. Thank you, Yukt, as well. I think we are over with the main
Yeah,
HTML
yeah,
form.
we'll be wrapping up in a few minutes. Just a
Okay.
minute, Akshat. I wanted to add something. Actually, many of you were asking how did she get that ready-made template in VS Code. You just need to type HTML, and there will be some options appearing on your window. You just select HTML5, and then all that ready-made template will appear on your screen. We just typed it all so that you may understand what each and everything is used for. Okay. So now, if you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. And also, Sarthak is here to make an announcement. So here I'm up, guys.
Right,
Sarthak.
guys. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarthak, second year IC student. So, before you leave, just a couple of things to note. All these doubts, I think it's already 8 o'clock. So, you can ask on the WhatsApp group, by the way. We will be more than active over there. Anyway, so a couple of things that we want to address. Number one is that a Discord link will be shared in the WhatsApp group today. And I request all of you to please join it. That is very important because we'll be sharing a lot of our resources, discussions, doubts, everything on that. So if you don't have a Discord account, please make a Discord account, and we'll be sharing the link on the WhatsApp group as well. So you'll have to join that Discord channel. Over there, you can talk about everything. You will see the interface and you will understand on your own that we have different text channels for discussion, for doubts, and all of that. So the web team wants to give you a task, that is whatever web page you have made today, please put it up on the discussion channel that we have under web development in the Discord channel. We'll be putting it up right now in a bit, the Discord server link. You can join that. Please put up a picture of whatever you have made today in that so that everyone can see and we can also help you out. Second thing is that day 2 of this workshop that you have attended today will be about CSS. That will be conducted on the 24th tentatively. So we will be telling you about how to make your code look better. You would have heard about CSS from Akshat, Megha, and Yuk multiple times today. So you'll actually get to know what CSS is. We'll be doing it on Sunday, mostly. So don't worry, you don't have to register again in any of that. All you have to do is press the join virtual event. That's all. And you'll be back over here and we will meet you again. So don't worry about any of that. Any other doubts, feel free to ask on the Discord channel or the WhatsApp group. But since the WhatsApp group has a lot of members and it might get a little crowded, so we recommend that you join the Discord channel, which we will be sending you in a bit. So that's it from our side. If you have any specific query regarding this session or the next session, you can ask, or else any other technical queries about HTML, Megha, Yukt, and Akshat will be more than happy to help you out either on the group or if you want to personally DM them, that is also all right. So again, concluding, just 2 things. 1, our Discord server link will be shared on the group and please join that. Number 2, whatever you have made today, the web page, please share it in the discussion channel. You will understand once you open Discord that there's a tab that says discussion and there'll be a text channel. So you can upload an image there. It's pretty much like WhatsApp. Just upload it over there in the discussion channel of Web Development Bootcamp. And you can share and discuss about what you liked about your web page and how you can make it better. All of us will be there to help you out if possible. And thirdly, keep in mind the second day will be on Sunday, where we will be talking about how to make your page look better and actually have styles and colors that we see right now. So thank you very much. That's it from my side. Yep, do you have anything to say?
Yeah.
So, Sathak, I would add like
Thank you, Sarthak. Uh, Actually, we would like to give all of you a task. You people just visit NIT Jalandhar homepage and you can just explore it and which elements are used in it. You have to create a similar web page. Just about you don't have to use CSS. Just use heading tabs, link tags, etc. And just create a copy of the basic homepage of NIT Jalandhar website. We'll be sharing more details about the task in the group, and you have to submit it before the CSS workshop. Try and do the task on your own. If you find any difficulties, you can ask us in DM, or ask in the group, or just first try to Google it. If you if you then also face any difficulties, then just feel free to ask us. Okay, so I hope that's all from our side.
Uh,
So
Yukt, I would like to add something. Guys, it's not mandatory to submit the web page because some of you might not be very comfortable with the HTML, and you can attend the CSS without that also. But I hope that you are comfortable with HTML somewhat, and you would like to learn more about it and explore yourself about the content which we discussed today. And you might be seeing that the website not does not look at all pretty. It looks very sober, simple. But whenever you learn CSS on Sunday, then the website would look 100 times much more better than what it looks today if you learn the CSS styles properly, and you will be making a proper website which can be launched on the web after CSS. Although JS is also required, but CSS would be enough to make your website look enough to be posted on the internet as well. Thank you guys. This is all from our side. If you have any queries, you can share in the chat box. We are here there for 5 minutes more, and then we'll leave the meeting.
so thank you guys
Will
for
be
joining
shared
the
in the
meeting.
WhatsApp group, everyone.
You,
So don't worry. Just check the WhatsApp group in a while, maybe half an hour, and we will be uploading it over there. So don't worry.
thank you for joining the meeting. If you don't have any doubts, you may leave the meeting now.
By curriculum, do you mean the schedule for Android, the schedule for WebD bootcamp? Tushar, by curriculum.
We'll be addressing your doubts in WhatsApp group. No worries.
Yeah,
Just make
these
it more
doubts
clear what
do
you want to
exist.
ask, Tushar.
Yeah, I'll share the link for the extension because now the almost the time is over. So I'll share the link with you in a while about which extensions you should download for VS Code, or even Atom I can share. Module or track.
Uh, Sarthak, we will be giving you access to something that is a surprise for you, which will be letting you know later on. So please attend the second day. On the second day, we'll be letting you know about what the surprise is. So don't worry, you will have access to some premium stuff so that you can look into it and have fun. And guys, feel free to go and have dinner. That's it from our side for today's workshop. Be sure to attend on Sunday. As Akshat had mentioned, that CSS is a very integral part of development. So that's it from our side. So feel free to leave. If you have anything very specific to ask, you can ask here, or else WhatsApp and Discord channel, where we will always be active. So don't worry.
Yeah, whole 7 days, whole week will be active there, and many of the mentors would be present at any specific time to answer all your queries.
Even after